Hello! Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back, Callie. So as you can see, I have two enormous cardboard boxes here. I'm kind of kneeling on the floor, and they're like chest height to me, so they're big. And in each box, there is 24 pounds of yarn. So we have 48 pounds of yarn. So let's just round up. This is 50 pounds of yarn, okay? So we have a box of purple and a box of yellow, because this is yarn that I'm going to use for the cardigans and sweater vest for the shop. So I needed a lot of yarn. And I figured why not order it just kind of, all at once. So I figured I'd make a video today showing you guys like just unboxing it all and kind of showing you how I wind it into yarn cakes, and then see if I can get it all done in one day. First, let's unbox. Okay, this box is already like kind of open a little bit, so I don't have that much to do in terms of cutting the cake, but let's crack this one open. This one's the yellow. Okay, so I get the Caron 1 pound yarn, and look at that! That's so nice! And they're just like already in these little bags. So, how many bags? Let's just make sure the right amount. So we have 24 1 pound skeins of yarn. So, we have the right amount in the yellow, and I'm sure we're also gonna have the right amount in purple, but I wanna go ahead and pop that bad boy open and show you guys. All right, here's the purple. It is the lilac. I know you probably couldn't hear me with the sound of plastic. This is the lilac color. It's like this color, what I'm wearing right now on the vest. So we have, it looks like we've got everything, but yeah, we've got tons of packets of this really pretty light lilac. We've checked the boxes. Everything is where it needs to be. So I think the next step is I'm going to set up my yarn winder, and I'll show you kind of my process for that. And then we'll start winding all this yarn, and I'll kind of just check in with you as we make our way through the day. So let's go. Okay, so here's where I'm gonna be sitting for pretty much majority of the day. This is just my desk. That I use this desk for yarn winding specifically because the lip of the edge of the desk is very square, and it's thin enough for me to fit the little mechanism on. So this yarn winder, very simple. I literally got it off Amazon for like $20 maybe. It was very cheap, but it's a lifesaver. It's great. So this is just the clamp that holds it to the desk. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clamp it on. So you just slide it onto the edge of whatever you want it to be on, and then there's a little screw that you can twist to secure it in place, and then it's securely on the desk. And now you can spin the handle and wind your yarn. So what's gonna happen? Oh, I also have my coffee up here, by the way, on my little mug warmer. So I'm going to pick a skein of yarn. I think I'm gonna start with the purple today, and I'm gonna show you how I get started. So let me grab some yarn. It's already pretty soft, and I do like this yarn because it's an acrylic yarn, and it does very well in the washer and dryer. Like, I've washed and dried this vest a good few times, and it's super soft, it's not falling apart, it's holding really well, and it didn't shrink, which is great. So what I'm gonna do, luckily, with this skein, the center pull is already sticking out. Sometimes it doesn't work like that, and sometimes you get unlucky, but today I'm lucky. I have a center pull. So I'm going to pull the center pull just a little bit just to really get it going. And I take this end of my yarn. I know you can barely see because I'm pretty zoomed out, but I just wrap it around this little guide here, hook it onto the yarn winder. There's little slots. I give a little tiny bit of tension to the yarn as I start spinning. And with the way that the yarn winder spins, it will wrap the yarn in a consistent pattern. And when I do a center pull, at the beginning it's very stiff because all the yarn is like condensed onto the center. So I'll just pause, pull some slack, and then brace it with my knee, and then just keep spinning. Or winding, I guess. And there we go. So I will continue to pull from the center and wind this. Usually I will wind until I physically can't fit any more yarn on there where it's just bumping against the brace. And then I'll clip the yarn, just like tuck the end into the yarn cake. And I'll catch up with you when we're close to that point, and you'll get to see what the yarn cake looks like. Okay, so I've gotten this one to about where I want it. So now what I'm going to show you is just how I clip the end and then just tuck the end into the yarn cake. So I'm just going to take some slack from the yarn, snip it. I'm going to pull this end of the yarn and just kind of wrap it, and I'll try to show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to tuck it into a few of these layers of yarn on the side, just so it doesn't come undone. And then all you have to do is pull out that center pull off the top of the yarn winder, just pull it out, and then lift from the bottom and just pull your entire yarn cake off of the winder. And then we have a beautiful little yarn cake. This is the first out of over 100, I believe, for today, if I do my math correct, or almost 100. What's 48 times 2? Anyway, point being, 96 of these today, but this is number 1. So we have 1 lilac yarn cake done. And what I have left from the skein of yarn is this. So this should make another yarn cake and should just be enough for another yarn cake about that size. So each skein makes 2 yarn cakes. So I'm going to go ahead and wind this second one, and then I'll kind of show you where I'm going to start stacking all these for now until we can have the final organization. So let's get this second one done. Okay, so that's 2 done. As you can see, I have them right here on my table, but also as you can see, my table's covered in stuff. So I need to clear off this table so I have room for all of these yarn cakes, so we can get, like, you know, a big like collection of yarn cakes on this table at the end. We need room for that. So I'm gonna take a minute and clean off my table, and then I'll come back, I'll sit, and what I'm gonna do for a while, I think, is I'm gonna sit, wind some yarn, drink some coffee, watch some YouTube videos, and check in with you like as I go. So you'll get to see this this small pile of 2 yarn cakes continue to grow to more and more and more yarn cakes. And what I'll probably do, just to keep it a little interesting, I'll probably go back and forth between doing the purple and the yellow, just so I don't get completely bored. But who knows? Maybe I'll do all the purple and then all the yellow. I don't know. But first, I gotta clear off my table, and then I'll settle in and do some more yarn winding. So it's currently like 10:40 in the morning, so hopefully we can get all of this done by the end of the day. Let's do it. Okay, so I just did another skein of yarn, and we're already making this operation a little bit more efficient. So down here at my yarn winder, so the way this works, this little wire guy here just kind of holds the yarn in place, like at a consistent angle while I'm winding. And over time, like as the yarn cake grows, it started like catching on this, and then it would pull itself apart. So I would like have to like use my hand. You might have seen it in some of the time lapses, but I'd use my hand to kind of like pull this outward. But Brady brought up some needle nose pliers and helped me bend it outward a little bit more. So now instead of having to like, you know, kind of use my hands like 3 different ways to like hold the yarn, pull the little wire bit out, and wind at the same time, now I can just wind, get to the point where it's almost at the wire now, trim it, and then start again. And then by doing that, I can easily and really quickly get 2 yarn cakes done from one skein without having to like fight it and like hold the machine in different ways. So already more efficient. We're doing great. We now have 2 whole skeins done, and well, we have 46 to go. So I'll keep checking in, as I said, but we're already making this more efficient, which is a great step. So I'm gonna have another sip of coffee and we'll keep going. I'm back again. We have another full skein done, and I just actually did some math because I timed how long it took me to wind that full skein into 2 yarn cakes, and it took me 8 minutes. And I did some math on how long, using that measurement, how long it'll take me to wind all of this yarn. So what I originally did is 8 minutes per skein, like how many can I make in an hour? that turned out to be 7.5 an hour. And then multiply it out by how many I had, divide out the time. Anyway, it ended up being about 6.4 hours. And that's not including pausing to go to the bathroom, get food, take sips of coffee. Like, none of that's included. It's just winding yarn. So we have a day ahead of us. It is currently 11:10. So I'm gonna just keep powering through. I'll keep updating you as I go, but this is what we've got done so far. We've got 6 beautiful little purple yarn cakes. I know I said I was gonna alternate between the purple and the yellow, but the purple box is just like, it's right there, right next to my desk. So I'm just gonna power through all the purples and then the yellows. So by the end, we should have a nice table covered in yarn cakes. So I'll keep checking in as I can, but yeah, I just want to update you with the math that I just did. So we're gonna be here all day. So let's do that. Hello, it's been about an hour since I last talked to you, and this is where we're at. All right, so we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 yarn cakes are complete. Down here, I've got my box of trash. So pretty much like as I'm taking the wrappers and the plastic off of the yarn, I'm just throwing it back in the box just so it's off the floor. I am working on a new skein of yarn, and that's where we're at. So yeah, it's been about an hour, and this is where we are. I am watching a lot of YouTube. I'm dying laughing watching Markiplier fail at Cooking Simulator, and that's okay because I would too. But that is where we're at. It's about lunchtime, so I think I'm gonna get a few more yarn cakes done, and then I'm gonna take a lunch break. Okay, I just had a quick lunch break, but this is where we're at right now. This one's falling over a little bit. I have a visitor. She's very thrilled. It's also storming outside, so that is what I'm working with right now. It's storming. I'm about this far in. I've still got plenty of purple yarn to do, and then of course the whole box of yellow. So let's keep going. Okay, it is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is what I've gotten done. This is a like top row from the box, if that makes any sense. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would be 12 skeins of yarn made into 24 yarn cakes. So that was the top layer of what was in the box for the purple yarn. So I'll show you what I mean. So underneath all of this trash, I've got the second layer of yarn, but all this trash is just from the top layer, and this will all get recycled and put away as necessary. So we've got that row there. So essentially we are a quarter of the way done. And my baby's still over there, keeping an eye on me, but this is a quarter of the way done. 24 yarn cakes, and they're looking really good. I'm getting into the groove of it. My shoulder's hurting a little bit, but I'm gonna make me a fresh new coffee, and we're gonna tackle the second half of the purple box. Hello. It's like 2:18, so like literally 20 minutes after I just talked to you, but oh, my shoulder is really hurting, you guys. I'm getting super tired, and you wouldn't think this would be that tiring, but it is. But anyway, I'm stacking the new ones on top of the other ones, so just going like, these stacks are gonna be like 4 yarn cakes high instead of 2, just to get them to fit on the table a little nicer. But I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go take a little break, go get a little snack, go hug Brady, make another fresh pot of coffee, come back with a second wind, some more energy, and I might get my heat pack for my shoulder. It's just my poor shoulders. When I'm crocheting, it's my left shoulder. When I'm winding yarn, my right shoulder. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come back and keep powering through. I'm definitely gonna get it all done by the end of the day. It is just gonna take longer than I thought. That's okay. It'll all be done and worthwhile. Then we can start the actual like crocheting and actually working with this yarn, which I'm very excited about. But winding it, good first step. Okay, I just said I was going to take a break, but I thought I would do at least one more yarn cake. But as you can see, it's starting to wind a little weird, and that's because my yarn winder is starting to spin like this, where it's like just a little saucer. Now, as it spins, it's supposed to kind of like tilt to wind the yarn correctly. So when it's doing this, that means that there's 2 gears in here that have split apart, essentially. And luckily, it's super easy to fix. I just have to get a screwdriver, pop off this top, and then, you know, realign everything and fix it. But it's just one of those things that, you know, takes time, so I'm just gonna fix this bad boy and then we'll get him spinning correctly. Okay, so I got it fixed and finished winding that cake of yarn that I was working on before. Current update of the collection. It's going great. So I'm just gonna, like I said, keep going on the purple and keep updating. I'll probably, put in a couple more time lapses just so you can see, but same process dozens of times. Okay, I just had a quick dinner break, but I just want to update you. This is where I'm at so far. I have three purple skeins left, and then, the entire yellow box. And it is currently 5:30. So it's taken me 6 hours to get half of this done. But that's okay. So I'm going to keep working, just push through the rest of the purple, and just probably launch right into the yellow. Okay, I'm on the very last purple yarn cake. This is it. This is the last one. So I'm just gonna loop this bad boy on. I'm definitely in the groove of this by now, so I say as it falls off, but it's okay. We'll just, there we go, start winding. So we have this last purple one, and then I'll kind of show you all the stacks behind me, and then we'll kind of shove them further down the table. We'll make room for the yellow ones. So, last one. Okay, this is the last little bit on the purple. Just gonna tuck this end. Okay, get this little guy off of here. And that was the last purple. That felt good. Here is the box of trash that all of the purple ones were in, and here is the, wall of purple. So this should be, let's see, 48 cakes of purple yarn. So I have the cat's little bed there that they like to sleep on, so I want to kind of leave that there so they can use it if need be. So I'm going to slowly just kind of gently push all these down and then make room for the yellow ones to be exactly in the same spot. Also, this has been nice. This is filled with rice, and it's one of those little things you can put in the microwave and drape it over your shoulders for shoulder pain. So I'm going to slide all these down, and then I'm going to start on the yellows. Okay, I gave myself some more room right in here for the yellow. Now, here's my box of yellow. Now, hold on. I need to redo how I'm doing this. Okay, so it took me about, 6 hours to do all the purple, right? That's still a lot, but we have that exact amount to do again in yellow. And I have a friend coming over in about a little over 2 hours. She's gonna be staying the night, so I want to have this, if not done, at least close to done by the time she gets here. So it's about 6 o'clock. She's due here at about 8:15. So I think my plan of attack is I'm going to just sit, buckle down, and just power through this. I'm gonna kind of just watch some YouTube videos, sip my coffee. I might not check in as much with these yellow ones, but you kind of get the process now. I'll check in when I can, but I think I'm just gonna sit and try to power through as many of these yellow ones as quickly as I can. So, wish me luck. I'll update you when I can. Hi, it is a little bit after 7. This is how much I've gotten done. So I'm definitely not getting it all done before my friend gets here. However, I do want to show you something very cute. I had stuff on the chair, so she made herself some space. And that one's still sleeping too. Oh, I'm sorry. Shh. It is a little after 8 o'clock. My friend is almost here, so I'm going to take a breather until she gets here so I can let her in. But this is where we're at. We've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 22. 22 yellow ones done, so that's not bad. We're like almost halfway there on the yellow ones. I have one more skein, and then after that one's done, then we'll be halfway done with the yellows. So actually I'm making pretty good time. I just know that she's gonna be here in like 5 to 10 minutes, so I don't want to be in the middle of this. I'm gonna go downstairs and make sure I let her in, and then I'll definitely try to finish this up tonight. It just depends on if I end up hanging out with my friend or not. So I mean, this is not very bad progress for one day so far, so I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm still a little tired. So I'm gonna take a breather and we'll see if we can come back and finish this up. Good morning. It is now Sunday, about 10:45 in the morning. Yes, I skipped all of yesterday of working on this. I had my friend's bridal shower to go to, and then I ended up being out all day. So we lost a day, but that's okay. So it's Sunday, and we are still at this stage. We've got this skein left, and then after that we have, I believe, I can do math, 8 more? Hold on. 12 more. We have 12 more. So 7 skeins total are left. So what I think I'm going to do this morning, because I want to just get this done, I'm going to sit and power through the rest of the winding process. Of course, updating you as I go, but with 12 and then 13 after 12, okay, 13 skeins left. Whew. I think it'll take me about whatever 13 times roughly 10 is. That's about how many minutes it's gonna take me. So let's finish this up.
Just wanted to start a business when something surprising happens.
Okay, this is where we're at so far. We are down to the last 2 skeins. So the last packet. So this is all that's left. This is it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna estimate this is gonna take me another like 15-20 minutes to finish. And then we will have all of it done. And then we get to figure out how we're gonna organize it all in this room because it can't stay on the table. So last 2 to wind up, and then we are oh, it's done. It's done. It's all done. I mean, look at that. That is so much. But look, we did it. If you can kind of see, the yellow yarn cakes ended up being slightly bigger than the purple ones, just on average. The yellow yarn, I think, is slightly like thicker. It's also a little stiffer, so it doesn't like drape against itself as nicely as the purple, but that changes every time I put it in the washing machine. So once the pieces are made and washed, it'll be just fine. But ta-da! My goodness, look at that. And then down here we've got our 2 big boxes of trash. We've got the one from the yellow, the one from the purple. I'm gonna consolidate all of the trash together and then get it into recycling. And I did kind of promise Brady, just as a joke, I would make him a rocket ship out of these boxes. So maybe that'll be a bonus feature video somewhere, but it is done. Okay, so as you can see, I have all the purples on the shelf, And those 3 yellows are not from what I just wound. Those are just from me having yellow already. But I still have all of this to find a space for. So I'm thinking I might move this stuff, like my fabric and my stuffed animals and elastic, down to this shelf because there's space. And then I should have plenty of room across for all the yellows. So I think that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I did it. Everything's in there, 2 layers deep. This is just stuff that didn't fit exactly, but they're hanging in there. They're hanging in there. And what's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna use those first anyway. So it is done. My ordeal is over, and I think I need a break. So I'm gonna have some coffee, collect my thoughts a little bit, and I'll kind of go over my whole thoughts on this whole process with you. Okay, so I recorded all that last week, and in that time between then and now, I got a haircut. It is a lot shorter. I love it. So anyway, with the yarn winding, it was a process, a very long process. However, as you can see behind me, well worth it. I love the wall of yarn that I have. I love that it's all organized and set and ready to go for me every time I need to just grab some yarn and make something new. But winding it all wrecked my shoulder a little bit, but it was so worth it. I mean, look how aesthetically pleasing that is. I just adore it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was kind of a longer one, but I really hope you did enjoy following me on this very long process of winding almost 50 pounds of yarn. And I hope I'll get to see you in the next one. I'm going to try to get back to weekly uploads. We'll see. But if you enjoyed it, please, feel free to subscribe and stick around if you like my content. If you also want to join me live, I work on my crafting live twice a week over on Twitch at twitch.tv/CraftyAnna. And I stream on Wednesdays and Saturdays at noon Central Time. So hopefully I can see you there, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. So remember, you are beautiful inside and out, so don't let anybody, especially yourself, tell you any different, okay? Bye-bye!